If I could talk a little bit of business with you, obviously you take over a diocese here that I know the folks in Allentown are very proud of. We have two terrific high schools in there, and Central Catholic and Bethlehem Catholic in their sports. And my question to you is, why is it important athletically that, schools and high schools continue with athletic programs as part of the educational process?
I think it's the more I go on in life, the more I understand how formative my athletic experiences have been, in a special way Princeton basketball, because of the radical unselfishness, the sense of sacrifice, the sense of dying to self so that the team can rise. All of those experiences, they're formative, and you don't realize just what an impact they have on your direction in the future. That whole sense of team play in every context in your future life is formed by these athletic experiences.
Yeah, well said. I think there's, the good folks. I know Steve is one of the same way, that, it's a big part of the educational process, and certainly so much to be learned in a different type of a classroom.
Absolutely. And I know I'm really interested too in the spirituality of sports, people connecting their faith with their athletic experience. I know it worked that way for me, and it was a real powerful experience. That whole film, Chariots of Fire, Eric Little saying, "When I run, I feel God's pleasure," based on the 1924 Olympics, something that actually happened. Sure. So I see a real connection between faith and athletic experience.
Becca and Central will be playing on a Saturday night, I believe, coming up in September. Will we see you at the game, and can we invite you up to the broadcast?
Oh, believe me, I'd love to. I'd love to do a
no,
double
you can't
header
take
with
sides,
you guys.
though,
Definitely,
you can't.
I'll be sitting on my hands that night, but it's on my calendar. I plan to be there. I grew up with great rivalries, the Princeton-Penn rivalry. Yes. My uncle was the right end for Albie Booth for the Yale football team in 1931. And so I kind of grew up on the Yale-Harvard game, too. So I'm looking forward to the rivalries, including Lehigh-Lafayette.
It's a good one. Lofted in the air right side. Reddick in position. Not deep enough to move Mayberry over. So Tuffy Goswitch unable to get the runners over. It remains first and second for Rich Thompson.
A little surprised he was not bunting there, Mike. 2 for 25 since coming up from Double-A. You got first and second, nobody out. And now the Iron Pigs have some work to do here if they're going to get on the board against Michael Bowden. Well, Bishop, I know you played here in the Lehigh Valley, and you lit up Stabler Arena for a career high, I understand.
Played, yeah, it would have been, I believe it was February of 1981. And JV, we came, I think it was the first year of Stabler Arena, and it was the high game of my college career, 17 points, and good memories. My aunt, who was from Bethlehem, and first cousin was there, so it was a nice family reunion at the same time.
And how many of those would have been three-pointers had the line been on the floor?
Oh, I think a few of them would have been, because I love to, sometimes at the parish receptions when I camp out underneath a basketball net, but I'm most comfortable at the top of the key for a 20-footer.
Well, I think we'll round it up to 20 then, Mike, okay? We'll grandfather him with the three-point line. All right, 20 points.
Oh, man. Here's Rich Thompson, flied out to center in his first at bat.
He also played with David Duchovny, who's known for his work on the X-Files. What type of player was he?
David is to this day.
There it is. There's that jumper form from high school.
Yes.
Nice release.
Look at that follow through.
I like the release. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Coach Carrill would have been pleased that I was following through straight up. Now, he did hit that shot.
So could David play, or was he a much better actor?
He was a good player. He came out of collegiate in Manhattan. He was kind of, I think, second team All-City. Dave was a nice player. Chris Leggett, who was next to me in the Andover picture, we talked a lot. There was a lot of jocularity back and forth on that team, and we had a great time. David had a great dry sense of humor, and we were in touch recently, and it was good to hear from him.
Thompson fouls that one back and out of play. Rich is behind in the count, 0-2. Being visited by the Bishop of the Allentown Diocese, John Barris. He is obviously the gentleman in the middle here. That's not him over there to the far left.
Certainly not.
Though I'm here for vocations, believe me. We're all those young priests down there. We're all looking for possible vocations. That's a real priority for me.
This could be trouble in the gap in left center, hanging up, however, for Gathright. And that will be out number 2 of the inning, and it'll be up to Jason Ellison.
I'd like to take this opportunity, Steve and Mike, to thank Service Electric's owner and president, John Walson, and his son, Vice President John M. Walson, for providing state-of-the-art production facilities for my most recent ordination installation Mass last month. It was a wonderful event. With the help of Service Electric, the Mass was available to hundreds of thousands of households, and I'm just so grateful.
Well, our president and owner and the entire crew at Service Electric, I know he prides himself on being able to bring to our subscribers, you know, all of the things that are happening and the good things that are happening positively here throughout the Lehigh Valley, and that is certainly is high on the list. So, I mean, I know we were honored to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. It was a very exciting day, and I really appreciate the prayers.
Jason Ellison behind in the count, 0-1.
Another interesting, Craig Robinson is a friend who's the coach of Oregon State, and Craig is making some good strides out there.
He's got a very interesting brother-in-law too.
Yes, yes, and Craig and Michelle come from a great family. They've made their parents made lots of sacrifices, and hardworking family. And Craig is an incredibly genuine person. He was Ivy League Player of the Year, both in '82 and '83. Just a great player.
So now, can we get the Obamas to the Lehigh Valley? Do you have some pull?
No, not that far.
Just pick up the phone and call him and say, look, bring the president to Allentown. We need him. He really has done a good job out there.
And you know what's interesting? I don't think the West Coast has completely mastered the art of Princeton basketball, so they would be aggressive on defense and overplay, which is beautifully suited for the backdoor cut. And Craig pulled a few upsets in the Pac-10 last year.
2-1 pitch on its way to Ellison. Missing wide and perhaps low, 3-1. Iron Pigs with a couple of hits here in the third.
And Bowden had thrown just 22 pitches, Mike, in the first 2 innings. He's at 26 here in the third alone. You'd like to get to him now. He's trying to work out of it.
Popped up right side in foul territory.
Oh.
And Bowden will have to try it again with Jason Ellison.
With a nice play in the crowd, too, off the dugout.
That's right.
Fans here can really feel it. We figured that out.
Some of the young priests I'm with today who are newly ordained, Alan Hoffa, Father Alan Hoffa, played for a year of varsity for Albright College, offensive tackle. And Keith Mather is an 8 handicap, nice golfer. And
that
so
makes for an interesting outing when you guys go, huh?
Definitely, definitely.
Count is full right now to Jason Ellison.
I think you have a challenge on your hands, Mike.
Who knows? Runners go on the 3-2 pitch with 2 out.
Are you shying away from a chance to hit the links?
Not at all.
Oh, that's what I thought. Say, we'll get you some counseling here between innings if need be. There's something wrong.
There's nothing better than a good day on the golf course, that's for sure. Well, you've had opportunity, I understand, to spend some time at Saucon Valley, and of course, you mentioned the Opens. We were fortunate to have the Women's Open there this year.
Yes.
Another great shot for the Lehigh Valley.
Definitely, and the Saucon Valley courses are just historical and beautiful.
And that'll do it here in the third inning. We thank you, Bishop John Barris. We wish you a very successful term here as the Bishop of the Diocese here in Allentown.
Thank you, Stephen Mike. I'm so grateful for the time with you, and we'll see you at that great football game.
Thanks for joining us.
God
We're
bless
going to step
everybody.
aside. No score. We have played 3.